All right, people of faith, let's take another walk. Let's talk about two types of souls: a of soul of honesty and a soul of dishonesty, or you could say a soul that practices honesty or a soul that practices dishonesty. That those two individual souls are basically two pathways of going one direction. It's like some will call it a fork in the road. You can make a decision between which direction you want to go. You want to go left, you go right, you go east, you go west. You can make that the case or make that the image. Most of us is walking that pathway, and up to a certain degree, up into that fork in the road, we have been walking according to how it was thrust upon us to walk. We walked according to how the environment was or the atmosphere was, and we do and we done what we saw, right? So if we in our household that we was raised up under, uh, we saw the overlords of that house do it a certain way. They may get up and go to work. They may get up and do this. They may not do this, and those traits are like the template of how we do things until we run across something that's we would call it the fork in the road. We get it's something that's greater or something that's less than, which would be the same as what our traits is already based upon. Either we're gonna once again, either we're gonna when we get to this fork in the road, either we will see something that's on the same level where we are of how we was raised in our environment and the traits that we develop from that, or we see something that's totally foreign that we have never seen before, and that could be considered greater, right? Two types of souls. One soul that practices dishonesty is a soul that practices misery, and the spirit inside of them, or the host that's covering their soul, is have an all-out mission for them to recruit. They bring misery. It's one of those deals that they do things and the results will come out, or the the explanation would be, I'm trying to do right. Or let's, like, for example, if this person is trying to aid you or trying to assist you with something, they will say, I'm trying to help you. The fact that they have to acknowledge what they're doing is the indication if their soul is healthy or not, if their soul is in right standing or not, if their soul practices honesty or not. Well, I'm being honest. I'm telling you the truth. The, that's not the truth as much as people think that the truth is. We would, quote unquote, we call transparency the truth. And actually, transparency sometimes in most cases is just a confession. That doesn't necessarily mean that it is the truth. The truth is love. And love doesn't come from man. Love comes from God. God's spirit enters into man and he pours out himself if he's allowed. That's based upon the the ability or the inability of that soul allowing God to be God. So otherwise, if love is not we could say spilling out or pouring over out of that vessel, you're gonna get a person who practices a lot of dishonesty. And and within that practicing of that dishonesty, deception is at its heights because it has to appear to be good. So this individual does this thing. They approach you with the intent to gain. What I mean by that is The good only come the good that comes from them only when it is up to their benefit. They're only good when it's to their benefit. That's a person who practices dishonesty. They're only good when it's to their benefit. Even with that said, I have to look at myself to make sure to study myself, to evaluate myself, to see where I'm at. See, am I a person who does good because it benefits me? Or am I a person that's in love with being good? That will be the difference if the person that tries to be good and the person that doesn't try. They just is. Within this practicing of dishonesty, how much more does a person